Good afternoon. Hi, I'm Cindy Bertram, and thanks for joining me today on Good Ship Happens. And yes, wow, it's been such an amazing week with different news, too. Really exciting. Um, one good example, of course, is, we get to know different people in the industry. They're so great, so many great people in the industry, too. One, I actually got a chance to meet her, was Captain Kate McHugh. She was the first woman American captain of a cruise line ship with Celebrity Cruises. And when Lisa Lutoff was the president of Celebrity Cruises, she actually reached out to Captain Kate McHugh to be president, to be captain of their new ship. And I met her on Celebrity Edge. It was really great to finally meet her. She's such a gorgeous person, and she had a great story too. Because what happened was when she was a young girl, she took a cruise with her parents, her family, and she came back. A short cruise, but she liked it. Came back. She said, "Dad, when I grow up, I want to be a cruise director." Her dad said, "Kate, you can do anything you want to do." She got the Maritime Academy. She graduated. It took some time. She applied for jobs to work on cruise ships as one of their, staff members, but in the marine capacity too. It didn't work, and then finally somebody saw credentials, and that's how she got in the door. And then 2015 is when Lisa Lutoff, the president of Celebrity Cruises, asked her to be captain of one of their ships, and it was great. And then also, I met her. She's great, gorgeous, amazing person. Big on social media. She had her cat on board the ship with her. Her cat's name was Bug. But what she did was she had a social media channel called Bug Naked. Okay, he didn't have a letter for her. That was fun. But anyway, then maybe about a month and a half ago, she decided to leave, retire from being captain with Celebrity Cruises. People were just kind of shocked, but well, you don't know because she lost her cat. That was a big problem. She had something came up to it. She went through it medically. But anyway, they just announced, this just came up this week, it's so exciting, is she is jumping into another role. She's actually going to working for Four Seasons Yachts as their captain, which is great. A bit more about Four Seasons Yachts. People are not aware of them, but they are part of the Four Seasons hotels. But anyway, I've known one of their executives for a while, and what happened was the Four Seasons Yachts. Um, it's their first luxury yacht, and so Captain Kate McHugh is going to be captain of the Four Season One, which is their first ultra luxury yacht, and I think it's coming out. Let's see when it's coming out here too. Let's see here. Trying to think when it's going to come out. But, it's coming out in January 2026. That's great news. I was really excited to hear the news too because she's such a great person, such energy, gorgeous, beautiful energy, and just so, she's just really beautiful and has got the expertise too. So I think people kind of surprised when she left Celebrity Cruises. Like I said, she lost Bug, her cat. Some other things came out, decided maybe take a quick break. Rising Board's for another cruise line, but this came out. They just announced it this week, May 18th, that she's going to be jumping in to be captain with the Four Seasons Yachts first ship, Four Seasons One, and that ship will come out. It's ultra luxury, of course, and it'll be coming out in January of next year, 2026. So I look forward to hearing more about that too. But how fun that she landed a position, and once again, just a great opportunity. She's such an energetic person, just wonderful. Because when I first met her on the Celebrity Edge, on the christening, she wasn't driving the ship. She was captain of one of the other ships. They had different captains on board their ship. This ship went the ship for a couple of days after they christened the ship. And what happened was, I was in this one area of the ship. It's gorgeous. Had the big window walls back of the ship, and they had big swinging chairs, things too. They had indoor. It was open, like I said, big window walls, interior, but great place to really look at the ocean, whatever too. And I thought I saw her swinging a chair, so I went over to her and I said, "Are you Captain Kate McHugh by chance?" She gets this big smile and says, "Yes, I am. Yes, I am." I got my picture taken with her. She's such a great person, so I'm so glad that she is back, going to be steering a new ship. Okay, Four Seasons One, which is a brand new cruise line starting out with her first new ship next year, ultra luxury. So keep posting on that too, okay? Because she's got big followers. But that's really exciting news, isn't it? Something else that's kind of fun too is let's share this today too, because we've got a lot of things coming up as far as the next couple months, new ships coming out. I'm going to be on one new one. I'm really excited about that too. I'm going to be on the christening cruise of the MSC World America, and that's coming out, of course, April. Okay, and it's great what they're doing too, because once again, I've sailed on different MSC cruise ships, and I've also been on the christening cruises too, which was great too. But like I said, with the World America, she's actually going to be sailing out on a christening cruise, a naming ceremony that's going to be taking place on April 9th, Port Miami. And also, one thing about the port they're sailing out of is one that MSC Cruises actually created, because you actually dock two different ships. So what they're doing is aboard the ship that morning or late morning on April 9th, and when they christen the ship, and the godmother they selected is actually Drew Barrymore, so she's going to be the godmother. But how fun is that too? They'll take us out to sea, plus we will be going to their private out island, MSC Ocean Cay Marine Reserve, and it's gorgeous and looks beautiful. I've been there before too, which is great too. So I love that too. That's really exciting too, because once again, we love that. I love new ships too. It's really fun to be there too, and excuse me for a minute here too. But it's great. It's really great to see this stuff coming up too. So, but it's great because once again too, I love new ships, and just really great too, and just love new ships. It's great too. So I'll share more about that later too. Okay, and give me one sec here. Something came up. I gotta get out of this too. Okay. But it's good. Like I said, I'll be on the new ship. I'm excited to see it because once again, too, is they built their marine lab there too, which is great. So I think that is so much fun. The marine lab, I'll be able to see it too because we actually be at it's called Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve. Be there, I know, on the 10th of April, because they offered us free shore excursions too, which is great too. But I'm really excited about that too. And then the ship will come back to Port Miami on April 12th, and then she'll start her regular sailings too from Port Miami. And so it's fun to share that too. And once again, to ride the ship too, it's got the new amenities, different dining. I'm really excited about that too. But also we got the first Italy restaurant at sea, which is great too. But good cuisine too, and just fun things coming up too. Another new ship that's going to be christened right after I get off the MSC World America is actually going to be Norwegian Cruise Line's new ship. Okay, that is the Norwegian Aqua. Okay, and I think that's really wonderful too, because once again, our christening ceremony is going to take place on April 13th. Okay, and it's the Norwegian Aqua. Okay, and like I said, it's their first ship in their Norwegian premium class ship, which is great too. And they've got two more ships coming out that'll be kind of their predecessors too, but that's great too, because like I said, their christening will take place on April 13th. And what they did too, is kind of fun too, is, I think I mentioned this before, but they do have a godfather christening the ship. Okay, and that will take place. They did actually acquire the ship. Okay, so they actually got the ship delivered to them. It's still over in Europe too, of course. But what they did was, they celebrated the float out. Okay, of their other ship called the Norwegian Luna. Okay, but once again too, about the Norwegian Aqua, which sounds great too. It's about 10% larger than its other sister ships, the Norwegian Prima, Norwegian Viva. Also to accommodate 3,571 guests. It's got a new dining venture, which is going to be offering different culinary options too. And also guests can really enjoy different things as far as options like Cagney Steakhouse and Le Bistro. Also, the ship also features, it's called Plantieri. It's a plant-based eatery located in their indulged food hall. Okay, and it offers healthy alternatives too. Also, what's really fun too is they've got different entertainment, of course. And as far as their entertainment, they've got, which I think is kind of fun too, they're calling it the Revolution, a celebration of Prince. Okay, which is featuring, it's a tribute show to Prince, of course. And also they've got another one is they've got this particular show that combines acrobats and magic inspired by the earth, water, fire. It's called Elements. The World Expanded. And also it's going to have kind of fun too. It's going to have their Aqua Slider Coaster, which is the world's first actual roller coaster water slide hybrid. Okay. Also, we've got their Aqua Game slide coaster, and it's the first, like I said, the roller coaster. But they've also, they've got their Aqua Game zone. Also, we've got the Glow Court, which is a digital sports complex, which really transitions from a daily, during the day, a lively daytime venue into an exciting night adventure too, which is great too. And then a few more things about the Aqua, which is kind of fun too, is they've got it's really different types of things as far as new features, spacious design, etc. too. And as mentioned, they've got new entertainment, which is great too, other shows. And once again, right now, the Norwegian Aqua is going to start a transatlantic journey from Southampton to the U.S. on March 28th, okay? And then she'll arrive in the U.S. April 4th. And like I said, then they're doing some different New York events, but then also her officially christening will be taking place on April 13th. And their brand ambassador, Eric Stornstreet, is serving as the Godfather. Okay, he is a well-known actor. And so once again, this is another example of having a godfather christen the ship, not just a godmother, okay? And during her first year, Norwegian Aqua is going to be operating from Miami, also Port Canaveral, and then New York, offering different types of itineraries, including from New York. It'd be short voyages to Bahamas, also 7-day Caribbean itineraries, and destinations include Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic, St. Thomas, which is in U.S. Virgin Islands, also Great Stirrup Cay, that's a private out island. And also, they're building a brand new pier also there too, which is great too. And I think the new pier will be actually finished constructed for people. They will actually dock there in late 2025, okay? So that's good too, because right now with August, September, they'll be offering cruises to Bermuda, okay, which is short season, but that's great too. So I think that's kind of fun that they've got a Godfather christening their ship, and that's coming out. The christening will take place on April 13th, which is great, okay? Of course, I've mentioned some other things. Oh, one thing else I want to mention about Norwegian Cruise Line. People need to be aware of this too, okay? Do you know any teachers? Okay, well, once again, teachers work very, very, very hard. And one thing I like to share with teachers, having been a former teacher myself a long time ago, I've done some substitute teaching, get a pulse on kids today, which is great too. But also, what they do, and they'll be doing it this year too, is they do this. It's called it's their Norwegian Cruise Line's Giving Joy, and this usually starts during the teacher takes place during Teacher Appreciation Week, which takes place in May, and they'll be sharing about this too. What they do is it's a teacher nomination contest. So teachers who teach in the United States as well as Canada can actually be nominated, okay? And a nominated teacher, okay, this will start in May, and then what they do is the teachers who get the most votes, the 20 teachers who get the most votes, will win a special 2-night cruise sailing on Norwegian Cruise Line ship. What they did last year, they did is, of course, it's called Norwegian Cruise Line's Giving Joy. That's their teachers nomination contest. What they did was last year, the teachers, the 20 teachers that won, actually are going to be sailing out and being at the christening of the Norwegian Aqua, okay, in a couple weeks, which is great too. And so I'm going to be doing this too, of course. I'll keep you posted when they actually open up the nominations, but you can actually go to their website, which is actually www.nclgivingjoy.com. But what a great way to celebrate and nominate teachers too. That's great too. And you know, like great teachers work so hard. I mean, I know that they really do, and it's a good way for them to actually be nominated and then vote for them too. It could be one of the 20 winners selected, okay? And what they do too is, something else that they do too is, besides this annual Giving Joy teacher appreciation, what they do too is, if you're a teacher, you can actually get, as a teacher, you decided to go on a Norwegian Cruise Line cruise, you can actually get a discount being a teacher too. So check that out too. I want to share that too, because once again, it's coming up pretty soon too, and teachers work very, very hard, and this will be the 5th year they've done it too. Okay, so keep in mind too, because it's called their Norwegian Giving Joy, and it's their Giving Joy contest. So look that up sometime too. I want to mention it too, as long as I'm talking about Norwegian Cruise Lines. Okay, but that's great. Different ways to really appreciate teachers. A lot of cruise lines, by the way, they actually do have discounts for veterans, so keep that in mind too, because once again, veterans have worked so hard, and they really need this too. Okay, and I think that's wonderful too. Okay, also, as far as another ship coming out this year is, of course, the Virgin Voyages. That's Richard Branson's cruise line. Okay, and it's their Brilliant Lady. Okay, and the Brilliant Lady is going to be coming out. Let me see here. Let me check here when she's coming out here a sec. Yeah, she's coming out, I think, look here. Let me look here too. One sec here. She's coming, I think, this year. Let me check here for the actual details. Okay. Because we've got so many new ships coming out, but the Brilliant Lady is the next ship coming out with the Virgin Voyages. Okay. And what they're doing too is, let's see here. Let me check here. One sec here. I think she's coming out later on this year. Okay. What they did was they launched some new Brilliant Lady shows, which is great. I love entertainment on cruise lines because, once again, remember, one thing about cruise lines is the entertainment is free. Okay. If you go to other places, you're traveling, of course, to Las Vegas. I've been there a couple times at conferences. It's okay, but the point is, if you go to Las Vegas, if you want to go see a show, guess what? You have to pay to get tickets to see the show. On cruise lines, the entertainment is complimentary, okay? And the shows are amazing. They're doing different things with the shows right now, too. But one thing that they announced with Virgin Voyages is that they are going to, they just announced Brilliant Lady is going to have 7 new shows, okay, which is great too. And I think that's really fun too, to think about that too, because once again, new shows are always great too. And there's so many shows to choose from too. As far as Brilliant Lady though too, she's coming out, okay, yeah, she's coming out this September. Okay, so September 5th is when she's coming out. And it's their 4th ship too. So anyway, as far as new shows they're doing, they're actually staging a new Supper Club series with a comedic whodunit murder mysteries, okay? And like I said, the Brilliant Lady is going to debut 7 new entertainment productions and more comedy and festive-like happenings, okay? Among them, they mention the new Supper Club turns into a comedic whodunit murder mysteries, accommodating in electric parties too, which is fun too. And also said what they do is they've got longer itineraries too with this ship. And also, the new routes include, Brilliant Lady will include 5 to 16 nights. Then what they're doing too is later on they will be taking their new Virgin Voyages places to Bermuda and Alaska. So as far as this 4th ship, okay, they just released some new things they're doing too, okay. Like I said, their brand's come a long way since they launched their first ship in 2021. That was the Scarlet Lady. I got a chance to see her when she's starting christening, she's starting her sailings. But once again, with the Brilliant Lady, she's going to debut new destinations from Canada, New England to Bermuda, Panama Canal, and Osco, Alaska. And they've got a lot of repeat sailors, of course. They call their cruise guests sailors because, once again, when Richard Branson came up with the idea, he didn't like the word cruise. He'd never even taken a cruise. So they call their guests sailors, okay? But you don't have to wear your sailor hat to sail the ship, which is great too. But they've got some entertainment, and here's some entertainment they've got on their ship. They've got the Red Hot. It's a high-energy musical review tracking Virgin's 5 decades of hits from Virgin Records, okay? And they've got different clips inspired by the rebellious spirit of Richard Brand, who is the founder, okay? And then they've got, in the Manor, another area, they've got, this is inspired by the Roaring Twenties, it's called Up With a Twist. It's a decadent new installment of Virgin Voyages Supper Club series, and sailors themselves can find themselves at Lady Valentina's Emporium of Excess, which offers high elevated dining, high concept characters, supported by a live band, which is fun, vintage numbers from yesterday or year-end summer soundtrack favorites. Also, which I think is kind of fun too, they've got Murder in the Manor, okay? But you're not getting murdered, okay? It's called Murder in the Manor. It's influenced today by today's true crime fascination in 1980s murder mystery novels too. And it blends different things as far as spectacle, mystery, and dining, and dancing too. And it's created by No Ceilings. It puts cruisers front and center, and they'll be tasked with assisting the hapless investigators who seem to keep missing out on the most obvious clues as far as the murderers. And they'll plan out Plain Jane to find out who really killed her rock star twin sister, okay? Another one is called Duets, okay? And Duets, it showcases soulful duets across generations and also genres too, featuring Motown, classic rock, contemporary ballads, all performed with jazz-infused arrangements. Electrics dives Brilliant Ladies' immersive UV Wonderland, teaming with fluorescent accents, UV reactive fits. They've got their neon face paint, even a jellyfish parade, which were made for electric dance party of luminous joy too. And the show wouldn't be complete without the electric slide. How fun is that, right? They've also got Disco Party Night Studio 772. It's getting a major upgrade with dance breaks and circus moments in a 90-minute explosion of sequins, flare pants, and acrobatics. So good sailors will actually be able to gasp. Also, what they've done too is they've reimagined some favorites too. For instance, with Virgin Signature's Scarlet Night, we'll get a new indoor glow-up when the Brilliant Lady travels to Alaska. And also, on some nights it might be a little bit too cool for an under the stars outside affair, the Red Room will actually come alive with specialized programming with energy as high as it would be outdoors too, because once again, the evening Alaska get a little chilly. That's why they're going to be doing an indoor glow up when Brilliant Lady goes to Alaska, which is fun too. Also, they got Virgin's dual reality acrobatic show, which will be on board the Brilliant Lady, and it presents a modern take on Romeo and Juliet. This show made history and was Tuda's first cruise ship production to go from sea to land. It debuted in Boston last year. So once again, we've got new shows, entertainment coming on board the Brilliant Lady when she comes out later this year too. It's really fun too. And something else that's kind of fun too is we think about Explore Journeys. Okay, that is a luxury cruise line. Ultra luxury cruise line is owned by the MSC Group, and they launched their first ship, I think, in 2023 with the Explorer 1. And the Explorer 2 came out last year. And what they're doing too is they're doing some special things because we've got coming out later on the Grand Prix in Monaco 2025. So what they're doing is Explorer 2, which is their second ship. They just announced this week too, which is kind of fun. A lot of good news out there, right? But they mentioned that the Explorer Journeys, which is a luxury cruise ship, what they're doing is they announced that the Explorer 2 will be the latest addition to actually offer an exclusive 2-night, May 14th actually to 26th. They've also got a 3-night, May 23rd to 26th, and a 4-night, May 22nd to the 26th stays during the Formula One tag Grand Prix de Monaco in 2025. So once again, the luxury cruise ship will be docked at Monaco's Port Hercule, and the Explorer 2 will actually provide some really, really enhanced experiences, unmatched experiences in the heart right there when the action's taking place that weekend too. So once again, keep that in mind, because once again, Grand Prix, but this is actually over in Europe, Monaco. And once again, it's just, like I said, with the Explorer journeys, just to know a bit more about them too. They're ultra luxury, and like I said, with this, and also for guests being able to enjoy the elegant and immersive Grand Prix experience, Explorer 2 is a very sophisticated ultra luxury cruise ship. They've got culinary offerings, which is great, world-class hospitality, and guests were able to enjoy spectacular views of Monaco. Also, events and parties on board this ultra luxury ship, while making the most ultimate bench for it, one of the great sporting events that comes up with the year too. And like I said, with the introduction of shorter stay options, guests have the opportunity to really experience this once-in-a-lifetime event in an uncompromising comfort and style, and whether enjoying the thrill of the race or maybe exclusive onboard entertainment, or maybe even refined ambience of the ship too, which is another way to kind of experience it too. So keep it in mind too, because once again, it's coming up pretty quickly in May. But like I said, this is Explorer 2. They're offering some special short sailings. They'll actually be in Monaco when they have the Grand Prix of, they call it Grand Prix de Monaco in 2025. These are coming up. As mentioned, the dates again, with 2-night was actually May 24th to the 26th. They've got 3-night, which is May 23rd to the 26th. And the 4-night is actually May 22nd to the 26th. And this is during the Formula One Grand Prix de Monaco 2025. So keep in mind too, it's really fun too. So I think it's great to mention that too, because a lot of good things that come up too. Something else is kind of fun too, besides new ships coming out. Of course, I've mentioned so many. We've got Norwegian Aqua coming out. I'll be on the World America myself too. That's MSC Cruises. Star of the Seas is Royal Caribbean's new ship that's going to be coming out this summer. And with Star of the Seas, she also has a special officer on board this ship. Yes, a chief dog officer. Her name is Sailor. They adopted Sailor. She's still a puppy. But what they're doing too is, with Royal Caribbean, they've been posting some pictures of Sailor. She's so adorable and so cute. And she's a golden retriever, okay? So like I said, she'll be sailing out of Port Canaveral, which is great too. So keep in mind too, if you like dogs, well, hey, she'll be growing up by then too. But once again, how fun to be on a ship with a chief dog officer. And as mentioned before, Royal Caribbean is the only cruise line that has that. With Icon Seas, which came out last January, they also had their first chief dog officer. Her name was Rover. I've seen pictures. She's so cute. He's a golden retriever. So keep that in mind too. And something else that came up too, that'd be good to share. I mentioned so many new ships coming out. It's probably confusing to everybody, right? But one thing that came up too is we have another cruise line starting, okay? It's Victory Cruise Lines. And a bit more about them too. A few years ago is when it was called, they used to call it American Queen Steamboat Company, but they did name change, rebranding in 2021. They changed the name to American Queen Voyages, which makes more sense. And what they did was, in the meantime, they actually had purchased these 2 former Victory Cruise Line ships. They were smaller ships, under 200 passengers capacity, and they started launching some cruises in the Great Lakes, okay, going from A.B. Pier up to Toronto, doing the Great Lakes. And when they launched those 2 ships, I got a chance to see one of their ships when she was going to be launching from Navy Pier in Chicago. So I live outside Chicago. I got a chance to see the ship. It was gorgeous. She's setting sail, and then what happened was unfortunately, when American Queen Voyages went under, John Wagner, the former president of American Queen Voyages, he stepped down before they went under, but he and his wife bought those 2 Victory Cruise Line ships. What they've done is revamped them, And what they're doing is now they're starting their inaugural season, cruising the Great Lakes. Yes. And it's called Victory Cruise Lines, and their two ships are the Victory 1 and the Victory 2. And more about them too is they're doing some great things right now. And as mentioned, John Wagner is the chairman and founder of Victory Cruise Lines. And what they're doing is they're launching some special sailings in end of April. Okay. And the fun thing is, it's all inclusive. The ship capacity, I think, is maybe under 200 guests. They've got at least 85 staff members on board the ships. I had a chance to see one ship. I think it was the Victory 1. Is gorgeous. I mean, the restaurants were beautiful, but just so beautiful. Plus, it's a small ship, and you can go through the Great Lakes. Okay, and they've got their live entertainment every day. Like I said, their cuisine was really great because they had a chance to lunch on board the ship, got a chance to tour it before she sailed out. And they've got, that they do too, is they offer 1 night pre-cruise hotel stay, which includes breakfast. What they do is then people actually get in the day before, stay at a hotel, get a hotel, board their ship, and they start sailing. They've got ocean view staterooms. They've got really great cuisine. They've got included Wi-Fi, which is great too. They've got included shore excursions for every port, including hiking 6-2. They've got unlimited beverages. They've got ground transfers. They've got open bars and lounges, and they've got their onboard entertainment daily. And also, like I said, the dining was really fantastic too, so that's good too. And as mentioned, these are smaller ships. As mentioned, they had a capacity of maybe 200 guests. Okay, so the ships are called the Victory 1 and Victory 2. And I love what they're doing. I'm so glad that John Wagner and his wife purchased those 2 ships. They're beautiful. And what they do is they've got, they use regional cuisine. They've also got, they call it Gather Dine and Delight. But like I said, I had a chance to see the one ship. It was beautiful. Small, but just so beautiful because they had the coastal dining room. They had their Tuscan Stone Grill, which is great. They had their tavern. Also, their Compass Lounge, which is outdoors, and they had their the grill. Okay, and like I said, it's like I said, with their coastal dining room, it's really beautiful. I mean, just spacious areas, so beautifully designed too. And the Tuscan Stone Grill is their new inclusive specialty concept. And like I said, they do different types of cuisine there too. And something else they're doing too is it's really like their home away from home, which I like the way they describe it too. And they got different entertainment on board too. And they include different shore excursions, of course, for free. And they offer pre-cruise hotel stay. And the good news is they've got included shore excursions, which are really great. For instance, just a few they mention in their brochures. They've got the Majestic Niagara Falls Boat Adventure, Mackinac Island Carriage Adventure. They got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is actually in Cleveland, Ohio. They've got the Henry Ford Museum of American Innovation. That's in Detroit, Michigan. And these are just a few. And what they're doing is they're offering different cruise itineraries in the 5 Great Lakes. So, for instance, what they do too is I know they sail from Navy Pier through the Great Lakes up to Toronto. They've got other options too. They've got one that would go from Portland, Maine, and it goes through different areas, and it winds up in Toronto. And of course, then they've got Chicago to Toronto. And what they're doing is I got invited. I am so excited. Okay, this is coming up in April. I'm so excited about this too, because I got a chance to be invited to be on their first sailing, which will be their christening naming. That's going to be taking place from Toronto. I'll be flown to Toronto, then go to the Great Lakes, and I wind up through the Great Lakes, different places, of course. That includes, of course, going from Toronto through Lake Ontario, then, of course, Cleveland, Lake Erie, Detroit, Michigan, then sailing to Lake Huron, They've also got going through the Sault Ste. Marie Locks in Michigan, Mackinac Island, and they've got their St. Lake, Michigan, and of course then they will dock in Navy Pier, Chicago. Okay, and what's great too about this too is this just came out this past week. I'm so excited, and to see the ship, and what they're doing too is it'll be on April 26th to the May 6th. It's the christening cruise of Victory Cruise Lines, Victory 1. Okay, and as far as the godmother, I think John Wagner and his wife, their daughter will be christening the ship too. So keep in mind, if you're really interested in maybe seeing a different way to cruise, but going through the Great Lakes, they'll be offering different itineraries later on too, I think in the fall and winter time. But what a great way to really kind of experience the Great Lakes, which is really kind of fun. So I'm really excited about that too. And like I said, Victory Cruise Lines, I'm just so excited. Having seen the ship myself when they were first launching this in Chicago, going to the Great Lakes, was really gorgeous. But it's just so fun to see what they're doing too, and then be invited. Oh my gosh, I think it's beautiful. So like I said, once again, it's Victory Cruise Lines. Here's one example here. That's actually in Chicago. Then they've got, what they do is they go from Chicago, Navy Pier up to Toronto, and then back, different stops. So once again, this is their inaugural season. So keep that in mind, because I think that's really kind of a fun way to really kind of experience something different. I know they will probably be positioning their two ships in other places during the wintertime, because it might get a little too cold to do those during the wintertime. I think it's kind of fun too. Don't you think that too? And then something else too is kind of fun too is we think about different cruising too, where they sail from, what they're doing too. Because we got so many ships. For instance, river cruising is really taking off like crazy, which is good. I mean, just talked to somebody that today earlier, and I just love it. Haven't had a chance to do river cruise myself over in Europe, but I do want to do that too. Because they're just such a great thing to experience the rivers in Europe, also different areas too, because once again, you can actually take a river cruise on the Nile River. Okay. One thing that came up too is with Alma Waterways, they've been sailing for over 22 years. They're still working on their ship. Smaller ships can be sailing on the Magdalena River in South America. They had to postpone it for another month or so, but it's just beautiful ways to experience different things too, because once again, when I was talking to somebody today about river cruising, she said she'd like to do that rather than maybe taking a major cruise line. And once again, the good thing is with river cruising, especially in Europe and other places too, even what we're doing as far as the Great Lakes, which is great too, other areas too. But once again, the ship serves as your floating hotel. Okay, they take you beautiful places. You get right off, right back on. But it's really great because once again, it's a little bit more relaxing way to actually see beautiful parts of Europe, especially in their own Rhine rivers too, which is great too. So definitely keep in mind too, because it's just such a great way to see and experience, I think, Europe first, other places too. And something else too that comes up too a lot of times too is people don't realize it too is the cruise ships sail in different areas. One good example too is we've got one thing I mentioned too is with MSC Cruises. Okay, they've been around for several years and well known over in Europe because the family is European. It's family owned. With MSC Cruises, they are owned by the MSC Group, family owned, and the family actually owns Explorer Journeys, their luxury cruise line. They actually also own their MSC Foundation, their nonprofit. Plus, what's great too is people don't know how they came about into the cruising industry too. But once again, too, with the MSC family, what they do is the Ponte family. What they do is years and years ago, they actually started their Mediterranean shipping company, container shipping company, years and years ago, hundreds of years ago. So that's how I got into it, and then they decided to get into the cruise industry. But once again, it's just fun. And one thing that came up too is with MSC Cruises. Okay, I'm going on the World America, the new ship, of course, coming out in a couple of weeks. But also, they mentioned something too, which is great too, because what they're doing is they actually have a ship that's going to be sailing down under in Australia. I'm going to share more of that in a minute too, but it's called their MSC Magnifica. Okay, I think it's pronounced Magnifica. Okay, or Magnifica. It's going to be sailing from Australia too. Um, but that's great too. I think that's really wonderful to think about different things to go and see too. I was seeing a big lamp. It's going to be sailing in Australia too, which is great too. And they've got a first world cruise too. That starts. The Embassy Magnifique was actually built in 2010, and it actually debuted the first world cruise in 2019. But actually, what they're doing, she's going to be doing Australia too. So keep in mind too. Okay.
Ooh, so we got all kinds of stuff going on. All that. Oh, definitely a lot taking place.
Oh yes, but I think it's so fun to have. I love the fact that Captain KBQ has got a new job because I was so in tears when I found she's going to leave. But she went through a lot because she lost her cat. Her cat died
Oh,
unexpectedly. Bug was in the
mhm.
bridge with her too, and as mother, she just said just to step down. People were just heartbroken. I thought, okay, come on, please, Captain Kate McHugh, wind up somewhere else. Come on, she's such a great person, such energy. I met her. She's gorgeous. Looks like Sandra Bullock. She's gorgeous. And when this came out, Four Seasons Yachts is new. They're working on it now. They're going to be launching this January 2026, and she just they decided she's going to be their captain, which is great. So definitely, I
Well,
think that's going to make build a lot of interest for people. Okay, Four Seasons, yeah, yep, Captain Cape Cube, yep, got to sail on that one.
yeah, definitely got to do that.
Oh, definitely, she's so fun. I mean, because like when I finally met her on the Celebrity Edge christening ship, I was on the christening cruise. She wasn't driving the ship, but they had different cabins aboard the ship. We got to see for 2 days. This beautiful area, the big window walls. It was back of the ship, big window walls, different places, and the place you actually kind of walk, take pictures. But then in a place where you actually just kind of swing in a chair, look out from the inside. And I thought I saw her swinging in a chair, right? So I told my friend, okay, I'm gonna go see if that's Captain Kate McHugh. So I went over and I said, "Are you Captain Kate McHugh by chance?" She says, "Yes, I am. Yes, I am." I got my picture taken with her. She's great, So it was so good to finally meet her in person. I was just like thrilled to death. But great career. And I said, I think she just decided to take a break real quick. And then this came up this week, and I thought, oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you, please, please, please. This is great. Yes,
That sounds real good.
it does. Yep. Any questions? I'm going to talk about life.
No,
It's just kind of good, different things too.
no, like I said, I'm sure they got some because you got Shaq as the fund officer, so maybe they've got some pools going on some of those um as well. Cruises even into March, and who knows, maybe they've got some basketball like
Oh my gosh, yes. And March Madness, right? We're in March Madness, right? I'm so excited because I know okay, I'm a Loyola gal.
right.
I did my master's in business at Loyola, okay, and in 2000, was it 18 or 19? Our team was in the final four, okay, and of course this year they've progressed, so they are moving forward in the March Madness, which is great too because I love Loyola. It's great, great, great university. Went there. I didn't play basketball, but I love it. And also, like I said, what's great too is we still have, of course, our chaplain, Sister Jean. She's
Isn't she like
retired
in
from
her
it.
90s?
What?
Isn't she like in her 90s?
No, she's actually 105 years old. She's amazing. She has big smiles. She's cheering on the team, but big smiles, and just she gets up at 5:30 in the morning, does meditations and prayers, and she sends emails to people via her iPad. I know she gets some help from students too, but great person, and just she knew she wanted to be in third grade, but she really best from high school, and she's 105 years old. Actually, her birthday this year will be her birthday is August 21st. She'll be
Mhm.
106 years old, and she wrote a memoir after I sent a mention to her about writing a book. And she wrote a memoir with got some help in 2023. Came out late spring, I think, or summer. It's called "Wake Up with Purpose: What I've Learned in My First 100 Years."
Wow,
She's a great person. Such an
sounds like it.
inspiration. Such an inspiration too. Like I said, I'm so glad about March Madness. Yes, I'll keep watching it. And yes, go Ramblers. Go ahead, go Ramblers.
The Ram, everything we can wrap up with the
Yes,
logo with the lagoon. So I think I'll go with the
that's fine.
lagoon.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Yes, that's great.
Cool. So we'll wrap up with that and everything. But another great show and
Good.
great information. As you like to say, good ship happens.
Yes, good ship happens. Come on, go on a ship.
Yep.
Sing the happy song and cake by the ocean, and you're on the ocean, right?
Sounds good.
Yes.
So let's check out the Calypso Lagoon.
Okay, great.
Then we'll close out with that.